Hi guys, my name is Minhajuddin Ansari and you're watching another tutorial on C programming, and today I will talk about the difference between the variables inside the parameter list of your function and the variables inside your main function. So first let me define two variables a and b, and I'm also going to write a function called change value which will change the value of a and b, or will it. So let me just, inside the parameter list, I'm going to write my two integers, and this is going to be the input which the function will receive, and inside the body of my function I'm going to change the value of the variable a to 99 and the value of the variable b to 99. And I'm going to call this function change value, and the arguments are going to be my variables a and b, and in the end I'm going to print the values of the variables a and b. So now when I run the program, I should be getting the values 99 and 99 because the change value function should have changed the values of the variables a and b. But instead, I get the values 5 and 5, which were the initial values which the variables were initialized to right here. So why is that? Why didn't the value of the variables change after I called the change value function? And I even passed the variables as arguments, as input to the function. So it should have changed the values of those variables. But that does not happen. What happens is that when you pass your variables as arguments into your function, the value of the variables is copied into another variable a and another variable b. So these variables are different from these variables right here. These variables have their own memory spaces and addresses, and these variables have their own memory spaces and addresses. So whatever changes you make in these variables, it will only be made in these variables. Those changes will not resonate into these variables right here, even though they have the same name. So just one thing to keep in mind, that the variables inside the function parameter list are not the same as the variables inside your calling program or inside your main function. That is why even though I make changes right here, when I run the program, the values of a and b, the original values of a and b, which is 5 and 5, will be printed in the output screen. So I mean this is the difference between the variable inside the parameter list and the variables inside your main function. And just to show you that values are copied, let me just add a simple printf statement inside the body of my main function. So I'm going to print the values of the variables a and b initially, and then I'm going to change the value of a to 99 and b to 99, and then again I'm going to print the values of the variables a and b. So now what will happen is that as soon as I pass the values of the variables a and b as arguments, so the values of the variables will be copied into the variables inside the parameter list of the function, and then when I print the values of the variables, it will first print 5, 5, because 5 and 5 were copied into the variables, and after that when I change the value of the variables a and b, so the changes will be made inside these variables. So again, when I print the values of these variables a and b, I will get the changed values because the printf function is printing the values of these variables. But right here, when I call the printf function, the printf function prints the values of these variables, and the values of these variables is not changed because I'm going to repeat one more time. These variables inside the parameter list and these variables inside the main function are separate. So whatever changes are made inside the change value function, they will not be made inside the variables inside your main function. So that is why my final printf statement will print the original values of a and b, which is 5 and 5. And later on in my upcoming videos, I will talk about variable scope, local and global variables, so you might understand this concept a bit more clearer later on. So for now, just try to understand what I've told you at the moment. So if you have any questions, please ask them in the comment section, and thanks for watching this video.